The signal that changed everything. The quiet before the storm. The night was calm across Earth. Cities glowed with warm lights, and people slept peacefully in their homes. Above them, the stars sparkled in the endless darkness of space. Nobody knew that everything was about to change. In orbit around the planet, satellites drifted silently, collecting data and sending signals back to Earth. Scientists monitored their screens, recording the usual patterns of cosmic radiation and distant starlight. Everything seemed normal, just another quiet night in the universe. The first detection. Deep in the mountains of Chile, the Atacama Observatory picked up something unusual. Dr. Sarah Chen, a young astrophysicist working the night shift, noticed a strange pattern on her screen. The signal was faint at first, barely visible among the background noise of space. She leaned closer, her eyes narrowing as she adjusted the instruments. The pattern repeated itself, growing stronger with each pulse. This was no natural phenomenon. Someone or something was sending a message, and it was aimed directly at Earth. A pattern in the stars. Sarah's hands trembled as she recorded the signal. The pattern was complex, filled with mathematical sequences and rhythmic pulses. It was clearly intelligent, crafted by minds that understood advanced technology. She immediately contacted her supervisor, but even as she made the call, she knew this was bigger than anything her observatory could handle. Within hours, every major space agency on Earth received copies of the signal. Scientists around the world stopped what they were doing and focused on this one mysterious message from the stars. The military takes notice. In a secure facility beneath Washington, D.C., Commander James Wilson studied the decoded portions of the alien signal. His military training had prepared him for many scenarios, but nothing like this. The message contained coordinates, timestamps, and what appeared to be a classification system. Earth had been marked, tagged like a specimen in some vast galactic database. Wilson's jaw tightened as he realized the implications. Humanity was no longer alone, and whoever sent this message possessed technology far beyond anything humans had achieved. Global emergency. Within 24 hours, world leaders gathered for emergency video conferences. The United Nations called a special session. Military forces across the globe went on high alert, though they had no idea what they were preparing for. Scientists worked around the clock, trying to understand more of the alien message. Sarah Chen found herself pulled into meetings with government officials, explaining again and again what the signal meant. The message was clear in its intent even if the details remained mysterious. Earth had been noticed by something vast and powerful. Fear spreads. News of the alien signal leaked to the public faster than anyone expected. Social media exploded with speculation and fear. People gathered in the streets, looking up at the night sky with new eyes. Some saw it as humanity's greatest moment, proof that we were not alone in the universe. Others feared invasion and destruction. Religious leaders offered prayers and guidance. Scientists tried to calm the panic, but uncertainty fed the growing anxiety. Parents held their children closer, wondering what kind of world they would inherit. Strange phenomena begin. As days passed, unusual events started occurring around the world. Power grids experienced unexplained fluctuations. Communication satellites reported brief periods of interference. Some people claimed to see lights moving too fast to be aircraft, darting across the sky in impossible patterns. Scientists dismissed most reports as mass hysteria, but Sarah Chen wasn't so sure. She noticed subtle changes in the original signal, as if it was evolving and adapting. Something was watching Earth, studying it, and whatever it was had incredible patience. The team assembles. Commander Wilson put together a special task force to handle the situation. He chose experts from various fields, linguists who might decode alien languages, physicists who understood advanced propulsion, military strategists who could plan for any scenario, and scientists like Sarah who understood the signals best. They worked from a secret facility, protected from public panic and political pressure. Their mission was simple but terrifying: figure out what the aliens wanted and prepare humanity for whatever came next. Decoding the message. Sarah spent endless hours analyzing every aspect of the signal. She discovered layers within layers, like a puzzle designed to test the intelligence of whoever received it. Some parts seemed to be mathematical proofs, others appeared to be star charts of regions humans had never explored. There were also warnings, though their exact meaning remained unclear. The message suggested that Earth was being evaluated, judged by standards humanity didn't understand. The pressure was immense. Every decision mattered. Every interpretation could mean the difference between survival and extinction. A discovery in the data. Late one night, Sarah made a breakthrough. Hidden in the mathematical sequences was a countdown. She ran the calculations 3 times to be sure, her heart pounding with each confirmation. The aliens had given humanity a deadline. In exactly 90 days, something would happen. What that something was remained unclear, but the message carried an unmistakable sense of urgency. Sarah immediately called Commander Wilson. Together they briefed government leaders around the world. Humanity had 3 months to prepare for an encounter that would change everything. Humanity's response begins. The countdown changed everything. Nations that had been rivals for decades suddenly cooperated. Resources poured into space programs and defense initiatives. Scientists shared research freely, abandoning years of competitive secrecy. Humanity began to unite in a way it never had before. Commander Wilson coordinated military responses while Sarah led the scientific effort to understand more about the aliens. The world held its breath, waiting for the deadline to arrive. Above them, the stars seemed different now, no longer peaceful and distant, but filled with watching eyes. The galaxy watches. Far beyond Earth, in regions of space humans had never seen, the alien signal had caused chaos. Countless civilizations received the same message, learning that a small blue planet had been marked for contact. Some alien races were curious, wanting to observe this newly noticed species. Others were alarmed, believing humans might be dangerous. Ancient councils debated what to do. Fleets prepared for various scenarios. The galaxy, which had ignored Earth for millions of years, suddenly couldn't look away. And at the center of this cosmic storm, humanity stood alone, unaware of just how much attention they had attracted. The galaxy in chaos. Panic across the stars. The alien message about Earth spread faster than light itself through the galactic communication networks. On a crystalline world orbiting a blue giant star, the Centauri Council received the news with shock. They were an ancient civilization, having explored space for over 10,000 years. The Centauri had seen many worlds rise and fall, but this message about Earth troubled them deeply. The markings and classifications suggested something they had never encountered before. Their best analysts studied the data, and what they found made them afraid. Earth was different somehow, unpredictable in ways that threatened the careful balance of galactic civilization. The war faction mobilizes. In the dark reaches of the Andromeda sector, the Krell Empire saw opportunity. They were a military society, built on conquest and expansion. To them, Earth represented a prize waiting to be claimed. Their war fleet began preparations immediately, loading weapons and gathering troops. The Krell had destroyed hundreds of civilizations before, and they saw no reason why Earth should be different. Their generals studied human broadcasts and communications, learning about human weapons and defenses. They laughed at what they saw, primitive technology that couldn't possibly stand against their might. The diplomatic response. Not all aliens wanted war. The Luminari, beings of pure energy who valued peace above all else, tried to organize a diplomatic mission. They sent messages across the galaxy, calling for restraint and careful observation. The Luminari believed that every civilization deserved a chance to prove itself. They argued that destroying Earth without understanding it would be a crime against the universe itself. But their voices were drowned out by louder, more aggressive factions. Fear and ambition drove galactic politics now, and peaceful solutions seemed impossible. Ancient warnings surface. In the archives of the oldest civilizations, scholars discovered disturbing records. Millions of years ago, another world like Earth had been marked with a similar message. That world had been destroyed in a war that nearly tore the galaxy apart. The ancient text spoke of a species that refused to submit, that fought with creativity and determination beyond anything expected. Those records had been dismissed as myths, but now they seemed terrifyingly relevant. Some alien leaders wondered if humanity might be connected to that ancient race, if Earth held secrets that could reshape galactic power forever. The observers arrive. While armies prepared and councils debated, scout ships moved silently toward Earth. These vessels were invisible to human detection, using technology so advanced it seemed like magic. The scouts came from dozens of different civilizations, each wanting to observe humanity firsthand. They watched cities from orbit, recorded human behavior, and analyzed every aspect of Earth's society. What they saw confused them. Humans were primitive by galactic standards, yet they possessed something unexpected, an incredible ability to adapt and innovate under pressure. Sarah's breakthrough. Back on Earth, Dr. Sarah Chen made another crucial discovery. The alien message contained not just a countdown, but also a test. Hidden in the mathematical patterns were questions, challenges designed to measure human intelligence and capability. Sarah realized that humanity was being evaluated by multiple civilizations at once, each judging Earth by different standards. She presented her findings to Commander Wilson and the International Task Force. The implications were clear: humanity's response to this crisis would determine whether Earth survived or became another forgotten world in the cosmic graveyard. Preparing for the unknown. Commander Wilson implemented a global defense strategy unlike anything attempted before. Military forces trained for scenarios they could barely imagine. Scientists worked on new technologies, trying to close the vast gap between human and alien capabilities. Engineers built defensive platforms in orbit, knowing they were probably useless against truly advanced civilizations but building them anyway. The effort brought out the best in humanity, people working together with shared purpose and determination. Old conflicts seemed petty now compared to the threat from the stars. The hidden faction. In the shadows of galactic politics, a secret group called the Observers had watched Earth for centuries. They operated outside official channels, answering to no government or council. The Observers believed that humanity possessed unique potential, something that made them worth protecting. This faction had placed the original marker on Earth not as a threat but as a warning to others: leave this world alone. Now their secret was exposed, and they faced a difficult choice. Reveal themselves and risk galactic war, or stay hidden and watch humanity face extinction. Earth's unexpected advantage. As alien scouts studied humanity, they noticed something that didn't match their predictions. Humans were unpredictable in ways that sophisticated computer models couldn't calculate. Where other species followed logical patterns, humans combined logic with emotion, creativity, and sheer stubbornness. This made them dangerous, not because they were strong, but because they were impossible to predict. Some alien analysts began to worry. If humanity couldn't be predicted, they couldn't be controlled. And what couldn't be controlled might need to be destroyed. The countdown continues. With 60 days remaining until the deadline, tension across the galaxy reached a breaking point. The Krell Empire moved its fleet closer to human space. The Zentari Council debated whether to intervene. The Luminari continued their desperate calls for peace. And on Earth, billions of humans watched the sky, wondering if they would see sunrise after the countdown ended. Sarah worked without rest, finding new clues in the alien message each day. Commander Wilson prepared contingency plans for every scenario his team could imagine. Humanity stood ready, not knowing what would come, but determined to face it with courage. Strange transmissions. Sarah detected new signals, not from the original source but from multiple locations around Earth. The alien scouts were communicating with each other, and their transmissions were encrypted with technology centuries beyond human capability. But Sarah noticed something interesting in the patterns. Some of the aliens seemed to be arguing, debating what to do about Earth. This gave her hope. If the aliens disagreed among themselves, humanity might find allies out there. She just needed to figure out which civilizations might be convinced to help, and how to communicate with them before time ran out. Humanity's message. Commander Wilson made a bold decision. Instead of waiting passively for the deadline, humanity would send its own message to the stars. Scientists and linguists worked together to create a transmission that explained who humans were, what they valued, and why Earth deserved to exist. The message included music, art, mathematical proofs, and declarations of peace. But it also included a warning: humanity would not surrender without a fight. The transmission went out on every frequency, broadcasting Earth's defiance and hope to the watching galaxy. The aliens would have their answer. Humanity was ready.